Today is Saturday, November 4th, 2017, and you're listening to Comm Chatter Off Duty. I'm Aldrin Garand, and with me is not Pixley.
My name is Fizzleclaw, and in real life my name is Martin. I am a musician, and my character will also be a musician.
I actually didn't realize you were a musician in real life.
I am lead singer.
Okay, so the deal with Pixley is, if you didn't listen to the little previous update thing I did, he's basically burnt out of Star Citizen, just waiting for it. He'll probably be back eventually, probably by beta. Maybe a little sooner if there's something really good that comes out. But the in-character version of the show will likely just be on hold until he's back. For those of you that don't know, Off Duty is the out-of-character one.
Obvious.
Okay, so what do you want me to call you? Just Martin? Fizzleclaw?
You can call me whatever you want, darling.
And you said you were going to be a musician in Star Citizen.
Yes.
Do we know anything about instruments yet?
We have actually no fucking idea about any instrument, so it's definitely going to be an experience to try and make it work. But I could probably one day just get some of my friends over, like someone with a guitar. It'll probably be a ridiculous conversation I have with him first, where I'm like, hey, can you like stand behind me and play the guitar while I sing into a microphone? It's probably gonna work that way.
That would actually be kind of cool. I could see someone getting like a freelancer or something, just a decent medium-sized ship, flying around doing like live concerts all over.
I have a Cutlass back.
That'll work. I have one too, especially since it's gotten bigger.
Oh yeah, nice ship. There's something special about walking into the Cutlass and being like, yeah, this is mine.
Yeah,
and then someone fucking steals it.
I keep buying new ones. I always end up melting it and picking up a new one shortly after.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Oh, I've got one right now. I bought it back. Okay, so when did you back Star Citizen?
Oh, I backed Star Citizen 2 years ago because I wanted something new in the gaming industry. I really wanted something I could just go into and instantly enjoy of lore. So someone told me about Chris Roberts, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy exists. So what I did was I talked with him about it, and immediately I decided to go and back it. I didn't even get one of those fucking recruitment codes, so it was kind of bland for me at the start. But I backed with a Avenger, I think, which I then upgraded to my newest ship, I forgot the name, Cutlass. There we go. So then I backed and I said, this is good. And I love the ambition that Chris Roberts himself has for the game, which is, he doesn't want to build a game, he wants to build a universe, which is just fucking bonkers, but it's great.
I think he said this is a game he always wanted to make, but he just never could, and it's taken a while, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah, I think this ambition is very attractive, because Chris Roberts, he may not be the prettiest man, but he's probably the most charismatic game developer I've seen in a long time. I think I'm very, very excited about is actually Squadron 42, but that's mainly because I don't know a lot about the history in there. And because of that, I really just want to play it now.
Well, I doubt there's an actual solid date, but I remember hearing about an interview with Andy Serkis. Now, he was probably just off the top of his head, but he was saying it would probably go live in 2018, Squadron 42.
Oh.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
It'd give us something to practice and play until Star Citizen goes live, so we don't instantly die on our first day out.
Yeah, and walk on a ship with Mark fucking Hamill. Yes.
But yeah, Chris, he definitely is the only developer for this. I've never met him personally, but I've heard from people that have met him that he is like legitimately passionate about this, and you can just tell from talking with him about it. He loves this project. It's not just a game.
It is a universe.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. What now? Any more questions?
Usually I'm the person that makes us move on. There probably are other questions to get to know you, but I can't think of any right now.
Are
Okay,
you scared that I'm gonna ban you?
what's that?
Are you scared that I'm about to ban you on Citizen roleplaying? If you say something wrong.
Next up,
I would.
we would have done like a lot of news stuff, but I'm gonna try and cut that stuff short.
Right.
Because we'd always do way too much of it before. So I think the plan is just to do a brief overview of some of the main points of Citizencon. Is there anything here that you are really interested in?
First of all, the world they built was fucking impressive. What I enjoyed even more was the system they had set in place for,
For the cities?
yeah, for the building of the cities, because it was so practical that I was just sitting there like, holy shit, this is genius.
And there's something that's been floating around since that presentation. It was a little clip of, I think, a 10 for the chairman, where Chris said procedural cities is a pipe dream, and now it's here.
And again, it's just fucking impressive.
Yeah, I was never expecting that. I figured, like, they would hand build Area 18 and other, like, main landing zones, and everything outside would just be the same thing, just kind of copy-pasted, maybe facing a different direction, or maybe there'd be a few variations, but not completely different. And then there's the interiors, too.
Yeah, those are procedural as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're procedural. They're not going to be in every single building, but still, you'd think it would just be a mess, like doing the interiors.
Can we talk about the railways?
The what's?
The railways, the
The monorails?
fucking trap. So cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something absolutely infatuating about going to a train and just going somewhere.
Yeah, and the fact that I was actually going, and did you notice that there was actually a stairway into one of the pillars supporting it
Yeah,
when the
yeah,
Aurora landed? So I'm guessing
Yeah.
you can just board it, get in, or just get off wherever you want along that line. So
Yeah,
it doesn't have to
yeah.
be in like one city cluster or another. You could stop somewhere between them.
Yeah, and there was the apartment with the landing pad, so I'm guessing, yeah, you can definitely house your ship as well, which is kind of impressive, all things considered.
There were some people in one of the chat rooms talking about, private apartments in Crusader Art Corp.
Yeah.
Did they actually say anything about that?
They didn't say a lot, but they flew past an apartment where you could see some of the interior, and there was a landing pad.
Okay,
so.
that must have been it, because I know a lot of people were interested in it, like buying one and using that to operate out of Art Corp instead of just their hangar. Because right now all we really have is a cot and a locker and a liquor cabinet.
If I ever bought one of those apartments, and if I could buy like these gigantic fucking stereos and a microphone in game, then I would place them outside and I would just shout at the top of my lungs just to piss someone off. Come on, that sounds cool, doesn't it?
Oh, I just remembered something. You remember how I think it was back during Gamescom, the Caterpillar? They had it set up for exotic dancers. You could do that with a band. Have like a band in one, other stuff in the other compartments. Just fly around. I said this earlier, but a Caterpillar would probably be a much better choice.
Oh yeah. I mean, probably, but it costs a lot, so I'm just gonna have to get popular and, use the winning money. Well, I could become a pirate.
And then we'd probably have to hunt you down.
Yeah, I mean, the group I'm in, the Aces, they would hunt me down as well, so probably shouldn't do that.
Well, piracy would be like a huge commitment anyway. Once you start it, you can't exactly stop, at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be very advantageous to be a pirate, mainly because there's so many variables, and there's so many other people that I think are actually going the good side, so...
Yeah, I ran the numbers once, and I think they were roughly 4 times the anti-pirates, bounty hunters, and that sort of thing to, pirates. I just went off org numbers, like how many people were in whatever type of org, but still. So basically, probably only the good pirates are going to survive out there.
The very good ones, like the gigantic orgs.
Hey, back
to
Citizencon. One of the things that I really liked was the quantum travel. how long it took. I'm glad they didn't just make it like instant or bump up the speed.
Yeah.
It's gonna make traveling a commitment, and like how long it'll take will actually be really nice for the people with bigger ships. Maybe not if you have like a Hornet or something stuck at the cockpit the entire time, but even if you get pulled out of Quantum from time to time, it'll still give you time to run around, fix stuff up, unwind, have some Earl Grey hot. Because I remember a while ago when I was playing, what is it? Pulsar, Lost Colony, I think that's what it's called. It's basically one of those Starship crew simulator sort of games.
Yeah. Okay.
The time you were in warp was your downtime.
And that's the only downtime, I'm guessing.
Pretty much. I mean, if you kill all the people that are attacking you, then you'd have downtime. I don't know if other ships could warp in and start attacking you again, but still, there were a lot of things that could wipe you out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. Those kind of small games, I would enjoy them. The issue is my friends are very picky when it comes to games. So I just can't even get to play one of those games because I don't have anyone to play with, and that's my issue. So it's very much a me problem and not a people problem. It's just a me problem, which is bad.
Back to Quantum, there was one thing I was thinking of. When I said traveling would be a commitment, I kind of meant it. I just did the math in my head, and I figured it would take, barring interdiction and having parts in your ship fail and whatever, it would take 4 hours to get from the Terra system to the Sol system. Granted, that's about halfway across the known universe at the moment, but still. Imagine if you just have a quest on Earth when you're based out of Terra. You're probably not going to want to go that far unless it's something big, like a storyline mission, if such a thing exists in Star Citizen.
If you get a booty call on the other side of the universe. Damn! But I think there'll be different... You could probably get an engine that's a lot better at moving such length, I'm guessing.
I think there is an acceleration time in quantum travel. It's not like instantly going 0.2 C, but I'm pretty sure they are locked at the same top speed.
Alright.
Though there might be shortcuts, there might be new systems discovered that would make it shorter.
I think I really enjoyed about the quantum travel was the visuals. Like, damn.
Oh yeah.
Those was pretty visuals.
Yeah, I hope they go more like that than what they did with the Car2Al. I remember when I first saw that, I didn't really like it that much, but I did like what they were doing with at Citizencon.
Yeah. But the real question is going to be, why would you ever, not go and travel? I've seen some people who've said, yeah, we don't really want to do that much. We just kind of want to stay in this one place. And I'm like, why not? There's so cool stuff everywhere.
I think one of the reasons they want to do that is because they can. There'll just be so much stuff in one area. I don't think they've listed out everything you'll be able to do, but just think of 3.0 when that comes out, how much there'll be in that one little area. You're still around Crusader and its moons.
It's true. I think the biggest issue is gonna be starting up, at least for some people, because it might get a little slow for some people.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm guessing it'll be slow for some people. Because it usually is in such kind of games, isn't it?
Yeah, and I imagine it would be possible to get stuck pretty easy. Imagine if you end up somewhere and you had no quantum fuel left. You have to pay for it. So you could end up crewing other people's ships or running missions on foot.
Yeah, but I think some people they would have a hard time talking to other people, being like, yeah, my ship broke down. Can I hitch a ride?
Well, there is going to be that reputation system and job boards and stuff.
That's true. Yuba in space.
And then there's always the chance you'll end up getting hired by the wrong people, and by hire they mean capture you and sell you to slavery with the Banu.
BDSM.
Okay, was there anything else really big from Citizencon you were interested in?
There was a thing I was annoyed about, actually.
What's that?
I know this is just a stream thing, but the lag and the latency issues on the stream was really annoying sometimes.
where it was kind of jittering a bit.
Yeah.
The audio would keep going, but the video would stop.
Yeah.
I think that was the Twitch thing. I didn't see the YouTube stream though.
No, that was bandwidth issues they had at
Okay.
Citizencon.
Oh yeah, they were saying they were downloading the new build. That's kind of an interesting thing. You'd think they'd get to Citizencon and just have like the
Yeah.
build for it. But like in Gamescom, they were constantly updating it.
Really?
Yeah, like they would had like 2 or 3 different builds while they were at Gamescom, and they were actually using it to find bugs to fix. Like they were
Right.
actually finding them while they were playing there,
Right.
and they would point them out, report them. Bugs would get fixed on the next build, and yeah. Speaking of bugs, we're starting to run out. I'm really thinking 3.0 will be on PTU before their winter break. Knock on wood and anything else, but
I hope PTU will be fucking soon.
yeah, there hasn't been like, I know there's Star Marine, but I'm not really drawn to that a whole lot. So unless you count that, there's not really been a major release since 2.6. Last December.
Summary, it's not very good. There's a lot of issues with it.
Yeah, I've heard of like wall hacks, aimbots,
Yeah.
and there's no reason for them to fix it if they're going to be completely replacing it eventually. Well, not replacing it, but why would they? They're going to be replacing 2.6 with 3.0. Everyone's going to be doing 3.0 stuff, not Star Marine.
Yeah.
It'll probably end up going like Arena Commander did for a little while. Just completely untouched, pretty much the way it was when it launched all those years ago.
I mean, there isn't really a big reason to update it anymore, at least. For a while.
Yeah, I think the only real reason to have Star Marine, is to get practice before you actually go into the real game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sure, there'll be other stuff. It'll be like, it's the game within the game. There's no real consequences. There could be competitions and, whatever. But right now, there just isn't much of a reason. Or once 3.0 comes out, there pretty much won't be a reason. Unless you just want that, fast-paced shooter stuff.
Yeah. I think we're running out of stuff to talk about Citizencon, at least.
Yeah. We've probably gone way overboard with it. This is what I was trying to avoid. How long have we been going so far? 27 minutes.
What, really? No. No.
I'll probably cut it down to 15 or 20 when I go edit this.
Yeah.
The one more big thing. Chris Roberts shoved a piece of cake into Lando's mouth.
I love how he invited, I forgot who it was, but someone over, and she was like, no. And then he just fucking jumps in and gets a cake in his mouth. That was beautiful.
And
And Chris Roberts is just like, oh, I need to wash my hands.
And Sandy was behind, covering her face or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the big topic or the big point of this show is to highlight RP in Star Citizen. And you came with a couple topics you want to talk about.
Yes. I've been role-playing for 7-8 years now. I wouldn't call myself the most experienced, but I have a lot of experience with the typing of role-playing. And I think that it'll be kind of 50-50. You can either be one of the people who writes or one of the people who uses your voice and microphone and talks through role-playing there. Because in action situations, it'll be very hard to do anything with the chat. Meanwhile, if you're at a bar, it'll probably be easier to just go into the chat and be like, /me grabs a drink or something. And maybe not make it as simplistic as I just did, but it may work that way, and you'll probably be able to adjust it to your own liking. Of course, you're gonna have to find a few groups, maybe meet someone at a bar. For example, me, I'll probably be playing music at bars, and you can talk about the music, you can talk about what's going on in the world of Star Citizen right now, or you can talk about how much you hate Vandal, they killed your parents, you're now a vigilante and you want to kill them all, And I think it's very exciting that we don't know much about the social systems, but it also leaves a bit of fear in me because I have no clue how it's gonna work. Of course, there'll always be the fear of going too far into space and not knowing where the fuck you are, and then meeting some role players who are gonna be like, "Yeah, you need to stand down, man." And of course, if you don't comply, they'll probably shoot your ship up. So be aware that role players are they can be very rough on you. So just careful.
Yeah, because role players, they'll basically stick to one thing, and chances are they're not going to break character unless it's something really serious. Like the Org I'm in, it has a focus on roleplay. But say we come under attack or something, chances are screw roleplaying, I want to live.
Yeah, because of the permadeath system.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I probably won't shy away from using mouse and keyboard. I want to use HOTAS most of the time, but I can fly a fighter better with the mouse than I can the stick.
I think I'm just gonna avoid a lot of combat unless it's like for mission.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm leaning more toward doing the industrial side of stuff with the org, but probably won't be able to avoid most of it. I'll just do what I can from inside my Orion. Die of a heart attack while dealing with the bills instead of the combat.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Heart attacks, man. Best roleplay ever.
You are going to age in the game.
That's true.
Oh,
you are.
Speaking of aging, there was something else they said at Citizencon. There's going to be an accelerated time scale for like the rotation of planets and their orbits and whatever. So you don't have to wait a full day for a day cycle on a planet. I think they said it'll be like 3-to-1, so you'll have like day, night, day in one day, night, day, night in the next, etc. So
right.
I'm wondering if that'll translate over to the in-game time. Like, will it still correspond with real time, or eventually will 1 year be 3 years?
Now I feel bad for the people who erotically roleplay for like an entire fucking day. They're gonna be like, oh shit, it's been night, it's been day, it's been night. I'm almost 2 days older now.
Or the people that are probably gonna start older.
Oh yeah. I've seen some characters where they were like 60 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh well.
Granted, age in the Star Citizen universe isn't going to be as important as it is in real life. There was in one of the lore posts, there was a guy that was a mercenary or something like that, and he retired I think around 90. So he had to be pretty effective up until that point to still be getting jobs and stuff.
They probably have anti-aging medicine now.
Yeah, not to mention implants.
Oh yeah.
And there was also mention of someone flying at 120.
Talking about implants, I just want to quickly break something to every role player listening. There is a group that you should avoid at all costs because their deal is basically death and destruction to themselves and others, and just about pain and bondage and chains. They're basically called the am I allowed to say the name of the group?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, the Fourth Stimpire. They recently joined Star Citizen Roleplay on Discord, and they were basically either trolling or writing some really inappropriate things that we had to immediately remove.
I did hear something about trolls, but the only trolls I heard of were like the Derek Smart wannabes.
Who?
You know, that super anti-Star Citizen person?
Oh yeah. Watch out for those kind of groups because they're there and they don't want you good, boy.
Yeah, they're the ones that make Goon Swarm look good. Granted, there are some pretty decent goons out there.
Yeah, some decent goons.
Although,
one thing
go ahead.
I really hope I can find is kind of a horror element, something scary, like maybe an alien race we haven't encountered. I think it would be cool to see a infection, not like zombies, but something like the Flood from Halo.
I want to say there was something a little like that. Like, there was a chance you'd come across derelict ships, and there'd be
Yeah.
things on them that we've never discovered. And there is the Kurthak that humanity's never had contact with. They're like on the other side of Jean's space, and we're not allowed to go there.
So maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to relive Iron Sky. Yes.
Relive what?
Iron Sky, that one movie with the Nazis on the moon.
Maybe. Although they might be cat people. I think they said once long time ago when they revealed that the Kurthak might be just the Kilrathi.
Fucking Nekos. God damn it.
No, well, more like lion people, like.
Yeah. The Katha. Like, yeah.
I should really come up with more RP topics.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I could, for example, explain to you my ambitions of role-playing.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Because I'm really not sure what I want to do. I mean, my RP is pretty much going to be just a slightly older, more badass me that would actually, go out in space and do stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe hints of little other stuff, like would have been in
Really
the military for a
enjoy-
while, so might have a bit of an era of that when I'm out on a mission or something.
Yeah. I think my main ambition is obviously to one day get on one of those big radio channels in Star Citizen to maybe talk a little about, at least as my character, and hopefully, very hopefully, maybe become a big thing in the Star Citizen universe, and then somehow be added to lore. That would be
That
phenomenal.
That is something that they said could happen. If you are popular enough, they could add you to the lore. And I'm pretty sure there has been a character added to it already, like someone that was mentioned in one of the lore posts.
Yeah.
And I have heard of people trying to do, like 24/7 radio for Star Citizen. I'm not sure if any of it was in character. Like a long time ago, we were offered a slot with Beyond the Horizon. I'm not sure if they're still around or if they're still Star Citizen focused. But they were a big deal way back in the day.
You're making me feel young now. Way back in the day.
But yeah, I think it was like Arena Commander, maybe.
Arena Command. Oh yeah.
That would have been around when you started, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I remember the day the Hainers went live.
The what?
The day that we got the Hainer.
Oh.
Hell,
I wasn't back then.
Yeah, I came across the game back during the Kickstarter, but I didn't have money until well after it ended. So I didn't get the golden ticket or any of that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Too bad I didn't get a job about a year earlier. I could have that. I could have, a citizen card. I could have all that nice stuff.
Yeah, back then I wasn't paid to go to school either, but I am now. If one day Chris Roberts sends me a fucking email and I'm like, my musician character, and he's like, hey, we've got some people here who can play music. Would you like to would you like to sing? I would be so blown away. I think it's a dream, but here's the thing about Star Citizen:
it can
all
actually
about
happen.
dreams. Yeah, the entire thing about Star Citizen is dreams. Luckily,
Having dreams, making dreams a reality.
finding your dream girl who's actually a boy. Perfect.
Can you imagine that, having having a female character and then the FOIP and VoIP kicks in and it's just like, hey, how's it going? Especially if you legit thought it was a girl.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking Obi-Wan just being like, hello there. Anakin, pull down your pants, please. I used to do voice acting for Obi-Wan. That was great. I loved it. Times have changed.
I really wish I came up with more topics, but I didn't think about this until, right before I talked to you earlier today.
Yeah.
I'm usually more prepared for this, but like I said, it's been over a year.
Yeah, of course. Now that you're getting back into it, we can have a lot of talks. Don't worry.
Yeah, the thing is, when we did this regularly, we were a little better at this. We were less rambly. We were actually better at talking. I'm not a huge talker. I don't like people that much.
Yeah,
The-
I think.
One of the big reasons I started doing this was to maybe improve this a little bit.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Rambling is probably the best way a person can talk with another. Mainly because you get so much information, you just have to kind of pick it out. You know, grab that one thing, use it there, grab that other thing, use it there. It's like a micromanagement game. It's great.
Until you end up at 42 minutes and 44 seconds. You see what I mean?
I could do it for hours.
Is there anything you're worried about other than, running into the wrong kind of people?
Oh, yeah. I think the amount of players could be kind of worrisome, and maybe the amount of stuff you need for your computer, how much it'll cost. I think that's kind of worrisome because it's a big universe you're going to be in. Although the optimization system is genius, it's great. It's where you have like one room, it's fully rendered, and the one next to it's only like 25% rendered. So when you open the door, that's fully rendered, and the room behind you isn't. And then you go in, the door closes, then it's just a black space. And by using that system, you're probably not going to have as much frame rate issue, as many frame rate issues, but you're probably still going to have a few.
Yeah, I'm a little less worried about hardware than I used to be. Like, I remember back when they were first talking about what sort of hardware you'd want, the NVIDIA 600 series had just come out, and they were saying you'd want like a 10 series. And back then, that was before they skipped the 9s. No, I mean, sorry, the 8s. The 800 series. So that would be... So they were recommending what would essentially be next year's hardware for a game that they started making 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think even though you have a 970, it's gonna be fine.
Like,
role-playing don't need frame rates.
For example, right now I'm on my old machine. That was an FX 8350, GTX 760 4 gig, and it was running 1080p, and I was playing perfectly fine with that. I just wanted to get something better so I could record gameplay if I wanted.
Yeah.
I probably should have just held on to that and built a new one, like just balls to the wall when the game goes live, but who knows when that'll be. But I was getting at 1080p a good, 30, 40 FPS in the Hainer and Arena Commander. And right now, like, as we all know, the big bottleneck in frame rate is the network, the netcode. Like, you could start on a brand new server or whatever, and you could be getting 30 FPS, and I think that's the max you can get at the moment. But then you could join an older one that's been up for a few hours a day or whatever, and get maybe 10 or 15. And sure, some people can play at that, but when you're playing a game that could potentially be really fast-paced, you could miss a lot in 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah. Actually, I think we should talk about the criticism that Star Citizen has gotten, at least recently.
You want to handle that? Because I've not been paying much attention to it. I've got enough negativity in my life.
Okay, let's start with the obvious thing, the introduction. We've got people who believe that the game is going to be both pay to win, but also going to be a flop. Like, it's not going to be any good. They think that the current systems aren't very good, even though I can say the opposite. The systems are pretty good right now. And then I just want to say that the negative population will always be the most loud.
Indeed, it's a lot easier to say something negative on the internet than it is to say something positive. Because you're just more likely to speak out about it. I'm trying to think of a good example.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, actually.
The new one?
Yes.
I've only played the old one.
Okay. I can always say the new one is a huge improvement on the first one. It's really good.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
The first one was kind of a letdown to me. I was expecting a little bit more, but...
Yeah, there was too little content, but now they added content, they added other things. So, what are people angry about? Loot crates? I'm hesitating to call them loot crates, but they're loot crates. But here's the thing. In order to get the advanced star cards, as they're called, you're going to need to progress through the game and level up through skill. So if you want to be good at the game and matched with better people, you have to earn it.
Or
So
you
you
could,
actually
or you
do
could
things.
just buy it.
But if you buy it, you won't get the special star cards. You'll just get regular meh star card.
And that's what's that for? Is that to get like the special characters or items or whatever?
That's for basically a star card. For example, there was a star card. Whoops, the star called a Vanguard, and if you were playing as Assault and used the Vanguard, you would get a shotgun, and you were super fast. You could run around. You could one-hit people, but still you're easily taken down because you're like running everywhere. People just need to learn how to aim, you know. And if you want to upgrade that card, you need crafting supplies, or you need to find the same card, which you'll only get if you progress in the game.
You can't melt items to get more hats to melt and get better hats?
Oh. You can, of course
Okay.
you can. But you also need to progress to get these things. Like, you need specific achievements and stuff like that. It's kind of like Battlefield, you know?
So you actually have to do stuff. You're not just running around and maybe when you die you get this thing.
Yeah, it needs to be like...
It is legitimately based on your skills in the game and what you do.
You don't need to pay for any of it. If you're good, you'll get enough credits because you earn in-game money as well, which is the same as you can buy, which you can then use on the stuff. It's really not a complaint. I think that should be taken into account. For example, Star Citizen. Sure, you can use all your money and buy the best ship there is, but if you don't have a group to hang out with, that'll kind of fuck you over. If every ship is kind of unique, and you can earn money in the game to get better ships. And that's just how fucking life works, man. You can be born into poverty. So that's how I see it, you know.
Yeah, and
your character is born into poverty if you haven't bought anything.
And think about it. They've said at one point that when the game goes live, they'll be jacking up the ship prices, and I imagine that means like the actual dollar cost or euro or pound or whatever you pay it in, to to make people want to buy it with in-game currency more.
And that's the thing about games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Citizen. They need you, if you want to pay, just so they can add more content. It's a way of supporting your developers. That's at least how I've always looked at it. Sure, some games make it completely outrageous. The new Call of Duty World War II, if you buy like a crate and you get a gun, like super superior gun, you will be matched with people who are lesser than you. So that's just how I see it. You support the developers for more content in the future. I don't know if it'll be paid though. Will there be any expansion for Star Citizen? I doubt it.
Expansion?
Yeah, for Star Citizen.
You're talking like you have to pay to get it. I don't know, like that, like how ESO did Morrowind recently.
Yeah, like that.
I really don't know. I mean, it would work. It would get them a lot more money, but
it's just not a very consumer-friendly thing.
How many practices that companies do are consumer friendly these days? Anyway, not many.
The Witcher 3. Well, I don't know. The thing is, you would pay to get extra content, like a new region. But to me, in a game like The Witcher, which I know is expertly done, I'll happily support that so they can move on to the next project, which is Cyberpunk something. Oh, hold on. By the way, I know what we can talk about in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
The setting of ArcCorp.
Big city planet?
Yeah, and how it looked, like the Blade Runner cyberpunk thing, you know? How did you feel about that?
I've not actually seen the new Blade Runner. I've seen the old one. Now, it didn't really seem that cyberpunk until you got outside, right?
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of that was mostly just the light effects, because the platform looked wet, like it just rained or something, so you had all like the sunlight reflecting off it, that big hologram.
Yeah.
And all the lights. I don't think it'll look quite as cyberpunk once, like if it's not like that.
I mean, obviously, but I think that also depends on the district. Like, if you go down to the lower district, you're gonna be in more in cramped spaces with
You know,
people everywhere.
it's gonna be
low.
more grungy, and
Yeah,
stuff's gonna be like older, dirtier.
My Chemical Romance G-Note in the background.
You probably start seeing like,
Slavery.
yeah, maybe.
I don't think that's allowed on our corp. Security would get you good.
Yeah, but think of Coruscant. There are whole like
Oh yeah.
it's like a whole nother world under the surface if you go down far enough.
Yeah.
And just think, at the bottom of at the actual physical surface of the planet, security probably doesn't go down that far because they probably get wiped out. There are probably whole generations of people that have never seen the sun down there. Imagine if you have a mission that brings you down there.
Yeah, the perfect place for albinos.
Down to how old is the Stanton system? 400 years?
Probably.
Anyway, let's just say 400. But imagine going down there. At the top, everything's brand new, shiny, clean. You go down, travel through the layers, and you get down to like the original city where like Area 18 started. Old, falling apart.
Area 18 looks cool, but I also think there's a darker story right there because it's called Area 18 and it talks so much about Area 18, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. By the way, what do you think about the alien races?
What do you mean, like their appearance?
Yeah.
Well, the Jean definitely look like turtles. The updated concept, or I guess it's not really concept anymore. I remember, when that came out, there were tons of jokes about Teenage Mutant Ninja Jean.
I think the Vandal look very typical alien.
I kind of like the older concepts of the Vandal more.
Yeah.
The Banu, I gotta go back.
I think they look unique enough.
Yeah, it's just like, you're definitely right about the Vandal though. They're too typical. Well, it's too late to change it now, but it's just that typical evil alien look.
Yeah.
Like they just look pure evil, mindless, kill everything. Rawr.
But holy shit, they're tall.
Yeah, what was it, like 2 meters? 2 something?
I have a picture where they're compared to the human model. I
Yeah,
can find it. That's size comparison.
I think they're actually bigger now. There was a slide that was shown during the Jean panel at Citizencon. I don't know, maybe not.
But the Vandal ship looks fucking phenomenal.
I don't want to come across one.
No,
It's big, it's scary. It's like I remember seeing a size comparison, like the Void Bomber. You're thinking, it's a bomber. It's probably just a little bit bigger than a Retaliator. No, it's the size of an Idris.
Yeah.
And then there's the King ship. It's like 3 or 4 times the size of a Bengal.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So we don't know anything about the Kufak at all.
We know that they fought a war for I think it was 1,000 years or something with the Jean, and that they might be, kind of cat-ish people.
Yeah.
I mean, in lore, we don't know what they look like though.
Nope, not at all. There's not even a picture. Damn.
No. The Jean are basically turtles. The Banu are something different. Tavaran are kind of like bird people, a little bit. Slightly Japanese inspired, I think.
I would say the Banu looks kind of like that one guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the thin guy. I think that the Banu look cool though. They're very wooden.
Yeah, they're different enough.
And of course the humans look like fucking humans. Who knew?
And then there's still the other races that, aren't like the big ones in the game. There's they're still like their Stone Age or earlier. I don't remember what they're called. Whatever. There's I think 2 other sentient races that are just not developed yet. Then there's 1 or 2 extinct ones. Of course, that's just off the top of my head.
I like the look of the Tavaran armor though, the battle armor. They look kind of cool.
Yeah, their armor is pretty cool. The other races, they've not really had armor yet. Just normal clothes, right?
Yeah. No, Vandal has armor, but that's it.
No, I mean in pictures that we've seen. I imagine they all have armor, but it's just whether or not we've...
Oh, we've seen Vandal armor.
Okay.
Not a lot, but we've seen it, and that's all I need. They don't seem to like armor.
Yeah, I remember it was like two conflicting things. Like one is the less armor they have, the more skilled they are in battle, but they collect armor or something and add it to their own.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just keep it or something, I don't know. I can't wait to customize my own armor.
I can't wait to customize myself. I wonder how much I'll...
I wonder, I think I've mentioned this before in the chat, but it'll be really cool if they added a feature at some point where you could kind of take a picture of your face and try to copy it onto your character.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure, I wouldn't use my actual face, but I wouldn't mind using it as a starting point to make my actual character.
Yeah.
Because I find I tend to be very close to the default character whenever I make one. No matter what I change, it's like, it feels like one thing goes too far, so I change it back to what it was, and the same over and over and over. And you can still tell it's made from the the character creator starts at.
Yeah.
Maybe just different hair and face slightly different colored eyes.
Oh, if I got that feature, I would print pictures of my favorite musicians and try them all out in the game, you know. Or maybe I'll print a picture of a bear and put that in.
We just have to hope it works better than FOIP did. We don't get those nightmare faces.
Yeah. Or like that one Rainbow Six game. God, you could make the freakiest creations.
Oh, hey, there was some basketball game where you could do that, and you would just end up with all sorts of... Oh my god, that is horrifying. Here's an example.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it worked good, but obviously not all the time.
Obviously. I mean, a system like that is... Whoa.
Is Windows updating?
Really hard to make. No, I got a notification on Discord. And it was like, hey dude, you got a notification. Right.
And that's why I leave and do not disturb all the time. That's and I just forget to turn it off.
Okay, so it's that you don't want to talk to me and you forget to turn it off. Yeah, a bit of both.
Oh wow, holy crap, you're almost an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow, this is going well. So how do we end it?
I have no idea. I don't remember at all. We used to have like a little example of what the outro was, but I must have deleted that by accident.
Whoops.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, or is that about it?
Yeah, I think that's about it for now at least. I'll probably see you later though.
All right, well.
God damn it. Hold on, I'm just gonna let my dogs in.
Don't.
You better cut this fucking plan out.
Hey, Azmat.
There we go.
Well, Martin, thanks for joining me. It was great having you on.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you for letting me come. It was nice.
If you ever want to be on again, just shoot me a message and, well, we'd be more than happy to.
Make this a regular thing. Sometimes I do my own. Be like, hey bitches, what's up? I stole his camera.
That'd be an interesting idea. Well,
Oh dear.
Well, anyway, talk to you later. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, you too.
Well, that's it for this one. If you want to join us as a guest, leave a comment under the video, send me a message on Spectrum, or use the contact form on our website, commchatter.net. I would like to thank everyone that made this possible. Martin for joining me, Chris Roberts and all the devs for working on Star Citizen, all the wingmen out there, and I don't remember the rest because it's been so long and Pixley always did the outros. Anyway, see you in the next one.